Do you like the hunt for deals? Are you looking to add some quality stocks from the Dividend Aristocrat list to your portfolio? Would you like to know which aristocrats are possibly undervalued? Then make sure you check out today's video. Before we get started, if you guys wouldn't mind liking the video, it helps the channel and I'd really appreciate your support. In today's video, we're going to build off the last video I did where I talked about the forward PE ratio of the Dividend Kings to possibly help you find deals, but this time we're going to look at it from the perspective of the Dividend Aristocrats. I'm going to do my best to make this video as short and compressed as possible while also still going sector by sector through the Dividend Aristocrat list to see if we can find some sweet deals. Now let's get to the content. All right, so the first sector we're gonna go over again is basic materials. There are 6 stocks on the Dividend Aristocrat list in this sector, and only one Nucor Corp, stock ticker NUE, is below the S&P 500 forward PE ratio of 18.22, and they currently have a 16.77 forward PE ratio. There are no stocks on the Dividend Aristocrat list at the time of recording that are below their own sector forward PE ratio of 13.86, and I'll put the rest of the companies in this sector on the screen here for you guys to see where they all rank in forward PE ratio. The next sector we're going to take a look at is consumer cyclical. There are only 2 stocks on the Aristocrat list that fall into this sector, only one of which is VF Corporation, stock ticker VFC, falls under the S&P 500 forward PE ratio of that 18.22, and they currently have a forward PE of 15.38. Again, I'll put both stocks here on the screen for you so you guys can see the current sector forward PE ratio of consumer cyclical is 14.23. So you guys can see that both these stocks are actually over that threshold. The next sector we're going to be taking a look at is consumer defensive. And we're going to have 6 stocks from the Dividend Aristocrat list in this sector, with only one of them, Archer Daniels Midland, stock ticker ADM, being below the 18.22 S&P 500 forward PE ratio, and 2 of them being Archer Daniels and Walmart being under the sector forward PE of 22.08. Again, I'll leave the rest of the research here on the screen for you guys so you guys can see the other stocks in the sector and where they rank. Next sector we're going to be diving into is energy. So there are 2 stocks from the Aristocrat list in this sector, and they are both under the S&P 500 forward PE ratio of that 18.22. They are also both over the sector forward PE ratio of 9.82. Again, you'll find both those stocks on your screen so you can see where they rank. And that'll bring us into the next sector, which is financial services. So there are 5 stocks on the Dividend Aristocrat list that fall under the S&P 500 forward PE, and 4 of them also fall under the sector forward PE of 13.7. You'll find all those names here on your screen where you guys can see the 5 that fall under the S&P 500 forward PE and the 4 that fall under the sector PE. Next, we're going to get into healthcare, and there are 4 stocks on the Aristocrat list in this sector, and we have 2 of them under both the S&P 500 and sector forward PE ratio. You guys will see those here on your screen along with the other 2 that are over both the S&P 500 and sector forward PE ratios. Hopping into the industrial sector, there are actually 8 stocks on the Aristocrats list in this sector. You guys will see here on your screen that only 2 of these are under the sector forward PE ratio, but 5 of them are under the S&P 500 forward PE ratio. So there could be some value in this sector from the Aristocrats list. Taking a look at the real estate sector next, there are 2 stocks on the Aristocrat list in this sector. So you'll see here on your screen that both of these stocks are over the S&P 500 and their own sector forward PE ratios. So this might be an opportunity to look outside the Aristocrat list if you're looking for that value in the real estate sector. Taking a quick look at the technology sector, there's only 1 stock on the Aristocrat list in the technology sector. You guys will see here on the screen that this one's actually below the sector and S&P 500 forward PE ratio. So this stock might actually be worth some extra research to see if this investment's right for you. So last but not least is the utility sector, and there are 3 stocks from the Aristocrat list in this sector. So you guys will see here on your screen that not only are all these stocks over the S&P 500 and their sector forward PE ratio, but as far as the sector forward PE ratio is concerned, these stocks are quote unquote significantly overpriced. Since AT&T cut their dividend, we do not have communication services represented in the Dividend Aristocrat list. But I, again, wanted to provide you guys with the numbers you see here on your screen of the S&P 500 forward PE ratio and the communication services sector as a whole forward PE ratio, just to give you guys some ground rules when doing your research, obviously outside of the Dividend Aristocrat list. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Please remember to like the video if you guys enjoyed the content and or learned something today. If you guys like the smaller videos, the shorter videos, give me a thumbs up to let me know. Make sure you're subscribing if you're new here. Also comment down below and let me know that you subscribed. Just say, hey, I subscribed. I will reply back to you and I will screenshot it and you will be at this section in the next video. And last but not least, comment down below. Let me know if you guys have any of these Dividend Aristocrats, which ones you have, how they're doing for you, or if there's any of these positions that you're going to be adding to because of the value or the deal that you're seeking. But until next time, see ya.